A fresh response and message to Vybz Kartel in regards to some of the less than professional behaviour at Freedom Street from female record industry CEO Marilana Rastumpling.
But I figured as the CEO of an entertainment company, I would take on the subject of ego when it comes to live shows. So let's go. Just a little black seed oil. So I want to talk about the return of Vybz Kartel. I'm a dancehall lover. I love reggae, but I love dancehall as well. We love Jamaica. We all love Jamaica. But there's definitely an ego issue in entertainment in Jamaica. And I feel like you have a lot of people behind the scenes that are a little jealous of the people in front of the scenes. And you have people in front of the scenes that have been through so much and have traveled the world and are used to a certain quality, used to a certain roll out the red carpet. And I frankly think as an artist, when we go through all that, yeah, we deserve it. It's great if we can stay humble, but we deserve that treatment. So now let's move on to the little ice balls I'm going to rub on my face as I'm talking to you. So the Vybz Kartel Freedom Street show. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the situation that's going on is showing two sets of hypocrites.
Vybz Kartel, I am congratulating you, but also hoping you can use this as an extended teachable moment to the Jamaican music world in particular.
I don't know if Kartel came to them, if they came to Kartel, but we all know it was Kartel's show. Kartel's Freedom Street show, slated for New Year's Eve. Okay. Now, I kind of believe what happened because Scott is kind of honest that he doesn't like artists. But yet he's a promoter doing shows. So that's not really good. Why are you promoting shows if you don't like artists? If you don't like artists, you shouldn't be the promoter. That's where all this corruption is. I feel I went through that also. I was supposed to do a show in Jamaica last year. We spent all of our money. And I feel like the guy behind the scenes, it wasn't even the promoter. It was just somebody we hired to get the venue. Ego took over. He didn't want a lady running the show. My son came in and he's like, Mommy, they don't want to be successful. They're not ready to be successful on their own, so they certainly don't want you to be successful. All right, well, back to the show. Now, let's just say I watched Scata show how the stadium is set up and how, oh, they're not allowed so much entourage and blah, 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 blah. Let's face it. If I come with my entourage, I don't want my entourage waiting at, then there should have been a third entrance. If that's really the problem, then put 3 entrances. One for the artist, one for the entourage, and one for the regular fans. But the entourage of the artist, I don't want my entourage going in with the regular people. No offense to the regular audience, but everybody should be kept safe and separate in their locations. All right, that's one. Perhaps that would have prevented the issue. Now, again, Scata brought a lot of issue. Apparently, he has a previous issue with Popcorn. So Popcorn and his people should have been aware of that. And Popcorn, I love you. But you, Chronic Law, and Scata Burrell, 3 of you, all should have been professional. You should follow Hollywood and what they do in shows in America, how we're trained. I mean, I'm not even a trained artist. I just know these things. Is you're not supposed to break your fourth wall. So that means you engage with the audience, you pull them in, but you never bring the audience into something else that's happening other than the performance. That's what people pay for. That's why people pay the big money for performance. It doesn't matter who you are and how big you are. You should never break that fourth wall. That's just the way it is. You have to acknowledge that the audience is there, perform for them, but you should never bring the audience into what's happening behind the scenes. So that's where I say you're all wrong. Popcorn, you've been around for a long time. Chronic Law, same thing. We know you guys come from unruly Jamaica, blah, 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 blah. But you've been around the world enough. You could have waited till the show ended. You shouldn't have, nobody should have mentioned Scata Burrell. Chronic Law mentioning racial shit. Come on, guys. You put us back. You put us so far back. So that's what I don't like. That's why I'm upset with Popcorn and Chronics. And Chronic Law, because they're the first ones that broke that fourth wall. and brought in what was happening on the stage to everybody else, all the people that paid for the tickets. And I think they are supposed to have reached a certain level to expect that if somebody disrespects you or somebody doesn't, that's okay. There's always going to be somebody that's going to try to get into your fourth wall. Don't let it happen. That's where I'm at. I do shows worldwide. I'm booking. I work with a lot of Jamaican artists. And to be honest, most of the time internationally, one of the first questions I ask is, can they take talk? If that artist can't take talk, we don't want you to leave from your country and come international. So this, to me, is the embarrassment of the ego. And then Scott is out there talking about, oh, you know, Popcorn, they shouldn't have done that. They said, suck your mother, blah, 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 blah. And you said that the show was for Vybz. But then you stood there when Vybz Kartel himself, that to me is the most embarrassing after all. The suck your mother, yeah, that's low class. And the rest of the world is looking at you like, come on, man. But now you holding on to the mic like that when Vybz Kartel, who's been in prison for 13 years and had to hold it, and he's trying to get the mic from you and it's his show, and you didn't give him the mic. So exactly what you called popcorn and chronic law for, you did, Sketta Burrell. You did it. Me, as a female boss, as a female enterprise, this is what I'm trying to bring into this industry. This is why I believe Ja gave me the steering wheel to drive Cleanway Records trademark, Cleanway Records music, and all that I do. I believe I'm a talented artist.
To Popcorn and Chronic Law,
it's the men.
Please don't forget who and why we do this for.
Where's the women?
You're bigger than
that.
that.
Women on the show, and the women on the show are only there to sexually gratify the men. This is my problem. Dancehall is beautiful, and there was the other side of that where I've seen shows with Skang where they're trying to take off his clothes, the ladies. So that's kind of the element of dancehall. Dancehall kind of is underground. It is a lot of bit based on, you know, sex and, you know, sexual revolution, and it has its place. But leave the ego out, guys. Leave the ego out. And Skatta, you owe an apology to Vybz. You do. Because you did say, I can't deal with popcorn now. You shouldn't have said that. You should have just said, I'm handling it. Whoever's at the gate, you should have given them the authority. So you started the ego issue. Whatever had happened before, you were there to serve Kartel. You were there to make lots of money from Kartel. So that's where I think is wrong. It's going to be the boss, whoever's greeting people into the house, you set the tone for the house. I'm sure Pop Skull and I'm sure Chronic Law came with love. They came to highlight Vybz just like everybody else. They probably felt just as important that they could have been on stage when New Year's rung in, the way Spice got to do that. And like you said, all the minutia in the details, you should have gone further. The band thing to me shouldn't have been a big deal. Popcorns, if Vybz said no ban, but it looks like you have a problem handling people that maybe have had an issue with you. And you're the one, I think, who brought the personal feelings. No joke, Sketta Burrell. I think you're the one who brought the personal feelings. And then if you don't think that the artist should be treated, you know, he said he didn't like that, you know, the artists about themselves. That's true. That's true to a part. Some Jamaican artists are the most unruly to deal with. I'm here and I'm looking, and there's a couple of you that have cussed me or been disrespectful. You're cut from my brand, period. I don't have to cuss you and go to all kind of nonsense. That's an ego thing. I don't know. I don't have anything like that. That's an ego thing. So my suggestion going forward, yes, you do a show for the artists first. If artists are comfortable, the fans, everybody else will be comfortable. And if you know that that artist has a big entourage, you plan accordingly. You plan their time accordingly. Or like I said, there could have been another entrance. But if you expect a Popcorn to split up from his entourage and send them in general and let them stand on another line, no. I can see they can't come to the backstage area and they shouldn't come on stage. But that's why usually you have a VIP section for the entourage of the artist. You have the artist place where, yes, I want to be in a place where I can meds and get ready for the show. I don't want, just because some other artist has, you know, 100 and I have 5 in my entourage, I don't want them blocking up my meds and getting ready for the show. However, if my entourage comes with me, then they should be treated special also. So you needed a way to treat them. And guys, this isn't the first time we've been doing this. This isn't the first rodeo. And there should have been no marks on the event. So yes, while Chronic Law and Popcorn, you took away from what really was happening by saying SM, your mother, and by talking about racial slurs and that kind of stuff. That's Chronic Law. Man, that's embarrassing. So Chronic Law and Popcorn, to me, embarrass yourselves. And you should have held it for Vybz. But the bigger picture is that message does come from the promoters and who's setting up the show. And you should be taking care of the artists. That's your job as a freaking promoter. Yes, it's to make money, but you're not supposed to let anybody know that you should be kissing the ass of the artist. Sorry. That's what we go through hell to get to those kind of stages. We go through hell. So when we get there, we shouldn't be going through more hell. That's all I'm saying. Once it's the show must go on. All that professionalism must stay up front, and no audience member should be knowing what's going on behind the scenes. It's one thing to be truthful, but the people shouldn't have had it. I'd say if I had bought the ticket to the show or flew in from America for that, or even was on the show, I'd be embarrassed of how it went on. And I wouldn't want to work with those promoters again. That's the truth. So I'm curious to see what Vybz Kartel is going to say in his statement. But that's where I'm at, guys. Just let go of the freaking ego. And those of you who are behind the scenes of artists, some of you are really jealous of the artist and you really do want to be on the stage. Why were you on the stage holding mics? That's it. You weren't the MC. I didn't get that. So I think right now, the promoters of the show owe Vybz Kartel an apology overall. And there should be no picking out, I don't like artists, then don't work in the industry. Don't work in the industry, Scott Burrell, if you don't like artists. Like, what the freak? That's kind of, right there shows, then why did you do the show for Vybz and say you wanted to please Vybz? You say you don't like artists. So check out all the videos, y'all. Let me know what you think. That's where I'm at. I love Jamaica. Jamaica needed a win. If there were no glitches on it, Jamaica music scene would really, really pop up.
Scott admit on the fix he felt the power of the mic.
You
envy.
fell into that hole of, yes, you've been international, but now because you did that on that center stage, other show promoters are going to be leery to bring you in. And I'm one of those people now working on promotion and grants and big-time proposals for tours worldwide. And again, this is the first thing we usually talk about. Can the artist take talk? Because nobody wants to spend all that money and have one little thing like that. And look into that. If you're really into entertainer, you don't break the fourth wall. I didn't hear anybody talk about this in any of the discussions that were had. When you're in entertainment, you don't break the fourth wall. So Popcorn and Chronic Law, you shouldn't have broken the wall. Doesn't matter what the producers, what the promoters did. You were already there. You reached there for Vybz. You should have just focused on Vybz and kept your mouth shut and make the promoters look like assholes if that was the case. And like I said, Scatter, I don't know where Joe's at, but if you don't like artists, don't be in music. I mean, that's just crazy because you're just hurting us all. And throw the egos out. We don't need the ego. That's it today, y'all. That was my... So I have black seed oil on my face and my ice balls. Getting ready for a day. Check out the Clean Way Records massive promotion. We're working out all the little kinks to make sure everything is beautiful. We got Reggae Vibes International, Clean Way Records trademark, Clean Way Records music. Me, Marilena Ross, Dumping. I'm DJing twice a month, the first 2 Thursdays. The third Thursday, we have a special artist interview. And the fourth Thursday, we have an artist forum. If there's a fifth Thursday, I'm taking off because I need a little bit of a break. So that's the setup. We got mixing, mastering. I have a producer right now at my foot, makes amazing rhythms, top notch rhythms. He could produce rhythms around your voice. And we're working with 2024 prices in 2025. So check us out. Clean Way Records music, Clean Way Records trademark. Yes, and me, the Clean Way with Mary Lena, and each and every Thursday, Clean Way in Sound. So get the ego out of the industry. Jamaica, keep going, keep going. We want to see you get, I know it's tough. It's tough. You guys have a whole different nature than everybody else, but we love you for that, but we're also going to pick on you for that. So, and learn about real theater and the fourth wall. It's really important. And Scatta and the promoters, if you don't like artists, then don't make money off of us. That is it. Happy 2025, Vybz Kartel. Freedom Street. Freedom is a must. Freedom is alive. And Vybz Kartel, you did an amazing job keeping everybody together. That's what I say. You deserve every penny you made. Next time, hire different promoters.